Now, very good morning to students of standard 6th. We have just started our revision of chapter number 9, that is living organisms, and in that also what is their habitats. Okay, living organism and its habitat and characteristics. Now, okay, living organisms, characteristics and its habitat. Till now we have completed many things in it. Now, before going to moving towards our chapter, once again I have just seen that you have enjoyed very well in the small holidays of the Dhuleti and the Holi. Okay, I think that you have been enjoyed well also and put the colors on each other's in a family members. With the family members you enjoyed with your family members, and with the society members also, with your friends and your friend circles and all these things. Okay, so that is also a good thing, because this festival comes in our life to have a break in our regular schedule or in our busy schedule. Okay, so we can get together to each and every person whom we are knowing or whom we are having the relationship with them and enjoy a few moments with them, and again we can start our good work. We can concentrate more on our work. So after enjoying all these things, once again we will start our chapter, that is living organism, characteristics and its habitats. Till now we have just completed a few points, that is known as one of the adaptation, having a special features or the habits to live in a place. It is known as adaptation. Then we are moving towards the biotic and abiotic, terrestrial, all these things. Biotic includes air, water, sun, sunlight, or all these things, and the biotic includes biotic. What does the biotic includes? Biotic includes the grassland and all these things, animals, birds, plants, and all this includes in the biotic. And abiotic means sunlight, water, which has no life in it. Okay, so that is in the abiotic things. Okay, components, we can say the components. So till now we have just completed all these 3 to 4 points. Then we have just moved to the journey through different habitat. Now, journey through different habitat means, we can say different habitat means the different environment. Okay, different environment includes that we have seen terrestrial. In a terrestrial we have seen that it includes grassland, forest and all these things. Okay, so we will see about all these things also. Desert, in that we have just completed the desert. Okay, how the animals live in the desert, why their legs are very long, then why the plants which are growing in desert are having a small leaves or having a thorns in them, or snaps we can say. Okay, all these things, and why the stem plays an important role in the photosynthesis. Okay, so all these things, and snakes and rats also live in the desert, and they live inside the sand, that we can say in the hole of a sand. They make a big pit in a sand and they live inside the sand, and at night time they come out from that their big hole. So they will not feel very hot in a daytime and not feel very cold at a night time. So they are surviving like this. Main thing that in desert is they are not getting the water. So how much water they drink, they use it very carefully by the body. Okay. Camel stores the water in its stomach, but it is stored as a fat in the body of a camel. We are saying that camel stores the water, but that water camel stores, but that water stores as a fat in the body of a camel. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the animals and the plants which are seen or found in the desert. Okay, now after that there is an activity. In that activity you have to take two plants, a small two plants, one plant that grows in a desert and the plant which is normally grown in our grassland area or nearby our house or home or all these things. Okay, you can take a cactus, okay, cactus leaves or cactus plant or any other plant, sunflower plant or any other plant you can take from your nearby house or a home. Now by taking two plants, one plant is of a desert plant and second one is our normal plant which grow near our home or a house or a field. Okay, now second thing is, first point is this, you have to take these two things. Now second point is that you have to cover these two of the plants with the polythene bag, and just keep it in your classroom and observe after few hours or one day. You after a few hours you will observe that you have to means where the sunlight falls, at that place you have to keep these two plants with the polythene bag cover on it. Okay, after some time you will see some drops of the water is stuck on the plastic bag. Okay, अगर हम प्लास्टिक बैग से ये कवर दोनों कर देते हैं तो हम थोड़ी देर के बाद हमें क्या पता चलता है, इसमें से इसमें स्मॉल स्मॉल ड्रॉप्स, यू कैन सी द वाटर वेपर्स, water droplets. Okay, you can see the water droplets stuck on the polythene bag. Why you have to do this? Because you can see that in a plant number 2 you can see more water droplets, and in a plant number 1 that is of a desert plant you are seeing a less amount of water. So what we conclude from this? We conclude that the desert plant throws away or take out the water from its leaves that is less amount. Okay, in transpiration the plants do the transpiration. Okay, while the process of transpiration in the presence of sunlight, it throws away the water in a very less amount, and our normal plant in the process of a transpiration it throws more water through the environment. Why does it means why does the desert plant do not give water do not give water or throws the water out like a normal plant? Because in a desert there is a scarcity of water in the desert. Now there is a characteristics of the plants also which is present in the desert. Which are the characteristics? First of all, their leaves may be small, लीव स्मॉल होंगे, उसके छोटे छोटे होंगे. दूसरा क्या है उसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स? दूसरा ये है कि वो पानी जो उसके अंदर जो पानी की जो ट्रांसपीरेशन में जो पानी उसके बचता है और वो एनवायरनमेंट में चला जाता है वो कम मात्रा में छोड़ते हैं. ओके, सो देयर इज अ लेस वाटर less water. And third one is, if you take an example of a cactus plant of a desert, okay, it performs the process of photosynthesis by the help of a stem. In each and every plant of a normal plant which grows near our home or a house, they perform the process of photosynthesis with the help of the leaves. Okay, but in these desert plants, they perform the process of photosynthesis by the help of a stem. Okay, their leaves are very small. They are not having a big surface area of the leaves. If they are having a big leaves, then there will be the spines in them, or we can say the thorns also. Okay, thorns is present in the in Gujarati we are saying ना that काटा होता है जो काटे, हाँ तो वो होता है. तो वो क्या करता है कि ट्रांसपीरेशन में से वो जो पानी निकलता है ट्रांसपीरेशन प्रोसेस में से, तो वो कम कर देते हैं. ओके, सो दे कैन यूज दैट वाटर विच इज प्रेजेंट इन देम very carefully. Okay, that is the system of the plants which is grown in the desert. Okay, like camel also, we have seen the example of a camel. Okay, camel also stores the water because there is a scarcity of water in the desert. Like that, all these plants also stores the water in them only. Okay, they will not throw the remaining water into the environment in the process of transpiration. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the plants and the animals which are present in the desert. From this activity we can say that the plants and animals which are living in the desert, see the diagram, which are living in the desert have a special characteristics which allow them to adapt that environment, or they can live in that environment. Now see the diagram and the activities diagram it is, and the some characteristics I have been written on the board of a plant, and you know the characteristics of the camel also. Now our activity is here finished. We can now we will see the next thing, that animals which are living in the mountain areas and the plants which are grown in the mountain areas. In that also we are seeing, see, first of all you should know that, or you should imagine that all the plants are not same. Different areas have different plants and animals also. Okay, their habitat is different, their adaptation is different, all these things, their environment is different. That's why the things which are present in that place are different from each other. Okay, so in a mountain, now the plants which are grown in the mountain are different from the plants which are grown in the desert. Okay, because in mountains are having good rainfall also. Okay, desert are not having a good rainfall, so their characteristics are different from each other. Some mountains have snowfall also. Okay, so the plants which are grown in the mountains where there is a very much snowfall, we can say, their plants are having a different characteristics. Okay, so that characteristics are being discussed here. We will also see the characteristics of the plants which are living or which are grown in the snowy mountains. Now, in that, first one is that the plants which are grown in the mountains are of a slopy, or we can say it makes a triangle, a big cone. Okay, it is in the shape of a cone. Yes or no? You will see like these plants, much trees and the plants in the shape of a cone. Now it is there is a big reason behind it why the plants or the trees having a cone shape. Okay, this cone shape, when there is a snowfall on them, what happens? It will slope down. All the snowfall will slope down towards the land. That is the first benefit of this slopy area. Their branches are also slopy. Okay, पहले तो उसका शेप कौन सा है? कौन है, कौन शेप। दूसरा क्या है? दूसरा कि उसका जो ये सब प्लांट्स का जो लीव्स होते हैं तो उसके लीव्स किस तरह के होते हैं? नीडल लाइक शेप। ओके, नीडल शेप, और दे आर टर्न डाउन टुवर्ड्स द ग्राउंड। ओके, नाउ okay, these two are the main characteristics of the plants. Now this helps the plants, this helps the plants to fall all the snowfall that falls on these trees. They will slope down easily on the ground. Their branches are also slopy. Their branches are also slopy. Okay, slopy means they bend towards the ground. Okay, so the snowfall falls on the trees, and that snowfall moves from the trees to the ground easily. Okay, so you will find these characteristics in the plants which are present in the mountains also. Now when you will go towards the when you go to the Gir, okay, or we can say our Girnar mountain, you will see the big trees. Okay, in the mountains there have been growing the more tall trees. That tall trees are not found on a grassland area or in our field also. Okay, so these are the characteristics, or we can say the differentiation between the grassland areas and the mountain areas. Okay, the animals which are living in these mountains have different characteristics. Okay, these characteristics, we can say, if the animal which are living in a mountain where there is a much amount of snowfall, then they may be having a thick skin. ओके, एनिमल्स की अगर हम बात करें तो हमें क्या मिलता है उसमें? हमें क्या देखने को मिलता है वो एनिमल्स में? तो हमें ये मिलता है कि उसकी जो अपर लेयर की जो स्किन होती है तो वो बहुत थिक होती है. ओके, द स्किन इज थिक और फर इट इज प्रेजेंट ऑफ गुड फर और मच फर इट इज प्रेजेंट. देन some animals have wool and the fur is present, or the hair, we can say the hair also is present in legs and feet also. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the animals which are residing on the mountains area where there is a big or a very much amount of a snowfall. Okay, so skin is thick because to protect from the cold, their skin is very thick. They are having more hairs on their body. If you take an example of a yak, yes, if you take an example of an yak, then you will know that they are having more amount of hair present on their skin because to protect from the cold. That's why. If you take an example of a polar bear, then also you will see their fur is much. Okay, there is presence of fur on the skin. It is more amount because they can protect it from the cold. That's why their body is made up like that. Now, some animals who are living in the mountains and going for the grazing also, that we can say it as a cattle. Okay, in cattle includes the goat and sheep. Okay, they are having the whose like feet. Okay, whose like feet. That whose like feet means when they are running on the mountains, they can catch where they put their legs, they can just catch that area. ओके, जब हम कोई भी चीज़ अगर हम दीवार पे चढ़ते हैं तो हमें क्या होना चाहिए, हमारा अटैचमेंट दीवार से होना चाहिए अच्छी तरह. अगर हमारा हाथ है वो दीवार से चिपका नहीं रहता तो हम गिर जाते हैं. उसी तरह यहाँ पे गोट होते हैं, जो गोट्स होते हैं तो उसका भी जो फीट होता है वो हुज की तरह होता है कि वो जहाँ पे उसका पैर पड़ता है वहाँ पे वो जगह को पकड़ लेता है. तो सो दे कैन हैव अ गुड बैलेंस वाइल रनिंग ऑन द माउंटेन्स. यू हैव सीन द मेनी फिल्म्स और द मूवीज ऑफ दैट गोट्स विच आर रनिंग ऑन द माउंटेन्स. So they are having a special ability, we can say special features in them to run on the mountains areas. Okay, we have if some animals don't have much amount of hair on it, then we can say they are having a good fur on them. Okay, good fur also protects them from the cold. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the plants and the animal which grow on the mountains. Then some plants also grow on the mountains where there is more amount of snowfall. So you can just look at the figure of the plants, and also you can just see the characteristics of the animals which are living there. Now there is another habitat which is known as a grassland. Okay, in grassland I will just say the overall view of a grassland. That grassland means the animals and plants which are grown near our homes or in the forest or in the field. This is known as a grassland. Okay, now the grassland also have a special features in them. That special features allow the animals and birds, or we can say the plants, to grow in that habitat. Okay, they first of all adapt that environment, and after adapting that environment they will grow with that environment. How the environment is there, each and everything that is shown here or I am teaching, it depends on the environment. Okay, अगर किसी जगह पे ठंडी है, ठंड बहुत है, तो वहाँ पे क्या होगा, तो वहाँ पे उसी तरह के प्लांट्स ग्रो करेंगे और एनिमल्स भी वहाँ पे उसी तरह के वहाँ पे स्टे करेंगे या वी कैन से रहेंगे वहाँ पे. ओके, अगर हम पानी की बात करेंगे तो पानी में वही जो प्लांट्स है जो पानी के अंदर सर्वाइव कर सकते हैं, एंड दे कैन ब्रीथ द ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम द dissolved water. That plants can only survive in the water. And the animals के अगर हम एक्वेटिक एनिमल्स की बात करते हैं तो हमें क्या देखने को मिलता है कि हमें वही एनिमल्स और वही एक्वेटिक एनिमल्स हमें दिखने को, फिश इज मोर अमाउंट ऑफ फिश इज प्रेजेंट इन द वाटर. सो वही फिश हमें दिखने को मिलता है जो पानी में से ऑक्सीजन निकाल के वो अपने सर्वाइव के लिए ले सकते हैं. वही एनिमल्स हमें वहाँ पे दिखने को मिलता है. वो क्या कहते हैं उसे, हम वो एडेप्टेशन कहते हैं. ओके, कोई भी चीज़ कहाँ पे, जो चीज़ जहाँ पे ग्रो करती है वहाँ पे रहती है, तो वो पहले क्या करता है, तो वो पहले एडेप्टेशन करता है एनवायरनमेंट का. उसी एडेप्टेशन से वो वहाँ पे ग्रो करता है और वहाँ पे रहता है. It is known as a adaptation, and main topic is our of characteristics of that adaptation and the habitats. Okay, different animals and birds. We are seeing many kinds of birds also, many kinds of animals also, and many kinds of the plants. But they are having their own adaptation in some of the areas. They are not grown at every place of the world. Okay, they are having special features in them, they are having special characteristics in them. अगर मैंने पहले ही बताया था ना कि जम्मू कश्मीर में एप्पल का जो ट्रीज़ है वहाँ पे ग्रो करते हैं, तो वो ट्रीज़ यहाँ पे नहीं करते क्योंकि यहाँ का जो वातावरण है, हमारा एनवायरनमेंट है, वो डिफरेंट है. और जो वहाँ पे एप्पल है वो एडप्ट हो चुका है वही वातावरण से, वही एनवायरनमेंट से वो एडप्ट हो चुका है कि उसको ठंडी ही चाहिए, बहुत ज़्यादा ठंडी ही चाहिए तो ही एप्पल ग्रो करेगा। तो वो एनवायरनमेंट हमें यहाँ पे हमारे गिर फॉरेस्ट और हमारे जूनागढ़ में नहीं मिलता, तो वो एनवायरनमेंट नहीं मिलता इसलिए वो यहाँ पे ग्रो नहीं कर सकता। तो ये है बेसिक, ओके, कि कोई भी प्लांट है, एनिमल है, वो सब अपनी अपनी जगह पे एडप्ट करके ही बैठे हैं और उसी एनवायरनमेंट से एडप्ट करके वो अपना ग्रोथ बढ़ाते हैं और उसी तरह ग्रो करते हैं। उसी तरह मैंने अभी दिखाया आपको जर्नी थ्रू डिफरेंट हैबिटेट इन दैट ऑल्सो वी हैव जस्ट परफॉर्म एन एक्टिविटी ऑफ अ पॉलीथीन बैग, one desert plant and one there is a plant which is grown in normal field, okay, and we have seen that there is a transpiration more in a normal plant and there is a less transpiration in the desert plant. This was our activity number 3. Now then we have just come towards our mountain, and in mountain also we have seen that the plants are having a slopy branches, they are having a cone like shape, okay, cone like shape, and the leaves are also needle like, okay. So the water that falls on the trees or the snow which falls on them, they can slide easily, okay, towards the ground. That's why they are having the slopy branches and the cone like shape. Now animals, अगर हम माउंटेन्स के एनिमल्स की बात करते हैं तो उसमें क्या आता है, तो उसकी जो स्किन है वो थिक होती है, ओके, देयर स्किन इज थिक। नाउ अगर स्किन की जगह अगर हेयर कम है, जो एनिमल्स जो वहाँ पे रहते हैं, अगर वी कैन टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ वाइट टाइगर और अ पोलर बेयर, दे आर हैविंग अ लेस अमाउंट ऑफ हेयर बट देयर फर इज मोर, वी कैन से जो सॉफ्टी हमें लगता है ना वो उसका फर होता है, ओके, सो दे कैन प्रोटेक्ट फ्रॉम द कोल्ड विंड्स एंड द कोल्ड, ओके। नाउ गोट हैव अ हूज फॉर रनिंग, okay, they are having the best hooves in their feet for running, for easily running in the mountains and going to jump from one place to another, they are having a good hooves. So these were the characteristics of the mountains, plants and animals, and we have just completed the desert also, and other points will complete in the next lecture. Now just go through the points that I have been written on the board, and you can take a screenshot also. Now we will continue in next lecture. Thank you and have a good day. Eat healthy and stay healthy. Thank you, students.